Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hi, Cosmin.
Hi, Heiko. How are you?
I am wonderful today. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me in this live. Hello, everyone.
Thank you for having me.
Hello, hi Cosmin.
Hi, Heiko. How are you? So today we are going to talk about health
Yep.
and mindset. We're going to share a few stories from our personal lives, and Heiko is going to share his story as well, um, how he overcame on health issues and how he can control it even more. And yeah, so first, Heiko, can you please start sharing a bit about yourself?
Yeah. So I'm from Germany. Currently, I live in Australia because my kind of new lifestyle allows me to have nice amount of freedom to travel the world and explore, not just explore the world, but also myself to just like constantly grow my horizon to learn more and also to find more ways to help people.
Yeah, cool. So how do you help people? What's your system? How do you do that?
Like due to like the history of my life, which you kind of get to know about in a couple of minutes,
Yeah,
I became a life coach because I learned so many things about like I actually so many things you can control in your life and how to take action to not just improve your health but also your emotions and everything. And it was a completely life changer for me from just being feeling stuck at home, don't know what to do, not really having a goal or any vision for my life, to traveling the world and living the dream. I mean, I have a life at the moment which I'm so grateful for, which is way beyond what I thought would be possible for me. And to me, this is a pure gift, and I want to give that gift to other people as well.
cool. I like that. Yeah, sharing whatever we have in our life with the others.
Yes,
And yeah, that gives us lots of fulfillment and satisfaction and makes us feel better, yeah, when we
absolutely.
can share, especially the inner work, the inner, I don't know, something that we cannot touch. Sometimes we can give people something that's material, that has some things have lots of value, but sometimes we can give them much more than that. We can help them to learn about themselves, and even through coaching, that's a great gift to the world.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. So, can you please tell us a bit about your challenge that you had with your health and how you managed it to overcome it?
Yeah, so this is gonna be a hard story for me. It like kind of was the darkest place of my life. But that's all started for me with my autoimmune disease. Like before that, I kind of had a normal life. I ate what I wanted when I wanted. I had like regularly alcohol with friends. I didn't exercise much, but back then I thought I would live healthy. I mean, everybody else lived the same way, and I thought, yeah, it should be right? But over time, I developed more and more allergies and more problems. And back then, I didn't really know what it was. I went to like several kinds of doctors, and everybody kind of tried to figure out what's going on, but nobody really did. And yeah, the conditions just got worse. And I remember like oftentimes I had a strong pain in my hips, which some doctors thought would be just a blockage or something in there, but it wasn't. And so like they did different scans and they found that there's something going on, but they didn't know what. And then it got even worse. I got like some stiffness and I couldn't walk right anymore. I must have looked like a pirate with a wooden leg.
Mm,
And so it took several years and several doctors to find out what's actually going on with me. And when I got the diagnosis, I was devastated because before I thought it would be just a simple thing. Like once they figure it out, they give me the treatment or maybe this stuff, it's going to help me and it's all going to be fine again. But there it was. They told me I got an autoimmune disease. There is no cure, and you have to live with that for the rest of your life. And at that point, like I was shocked. Like, that can't be possible. And I was thinking about it, just imagining my life with that pain all the time. And it was really hard for me to even see a future because I had days where I woke up and had so much pain. I was in my bed and I couldn't even turn around because sometimes the slightest movement would trigger that pain and was so intense. And it was scary, to be honest. Sometimes it was scary just to go to the toilet because I couldn't even like just go up and move. I had to like balance myself. I needed something to hold on to just to go there. It was horrifying. And so with that in mind, like what kind of future could I possibly have? And at some point, I hit rock bottom. I thought, like, okay, I need to do something here. I had enough of all this thing. I had enough of the suffering, and I was ready to take whatever it takes to at least better my condition. And at this point, I actually realized that before I was entirely relying on doctors and what they told me. But I mean, they were honest and they said there's some kind of medication that suppresses my immune system. But they were honest and said if you take those medications, the side effects will be way worse than the disease itself. And they recommended to stay away from it as long as possible. So, yeah, I mean, at the end, for me, in my head, I had no other choice but to simply go for something. So, I started my own journey and I started to research what's going on. I wanted to learn about this disease, what's happening there, what's impacting it, what's triggering it. And I found out that especially like everything is caused by inflammation, right? So I thought I would be smart, simply like, okay, I just find out like what kind of stuff increases the inflammation, what lowers it, and just go with that. And so I tried few things, like a little bit with food and diet. And yeah, maybe it helped a little bit, but not really much. And so over time, I went more and deeper into this topic. And at some point, luckily, I found out that there's actually a way to test and to see your life moving blood and see what's happening with it. The way it works is they take a little sample, they put it under a microscope, and you see your life blood moving right in this moment. And so on this way, you can actually see what's happening in your body. And when you eat certain foods, what's happening, what's triggering there. And was horrifying sometimes because, like, if you eat, for example, you eat some meat and it was like bad quality, then you can see how parasites from the meat are like moving in your bloodstream and they enter your blood cell and rip it open from the inside. And you can see that life happening there. And if you then think about this is a sample from your blood, that's happening in your body right now, then you're ready to make a change.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah, wow, that's pretty impressive. And yeah, oh, it's hard even to think what you've gone through when you said that you couldn't even like walk, you were afraid even to go to the toilet because you had so much pain in your body. And autoimmune, I don't have much knowledge, but just these two words, autoimmune, say a lot. I imagine that it's hard to heal. It's harder to heal. It's harder to deal with it. But um, another thing that you just said about the blood, that's amazing. That's fantastic because I remember I did it once and I saw exactly how the cells and there were some golden cells and they were moving around and so on. And in your situation, that was maybe a wake up call. You saw like, okay, this is happening in my body and I can control it, or maybe I can change it, or this is real. So yeah, wow. So how did you start the process of overcoming the health challenge issue?
Yeah, so like I said at the beginning, I just tried to lower my inflammation. It was like it worked a little bit, but not so much. And one thing that pretty much I guess everybody knows by now is that your diet has a huge impact. And but that's the thing. Where should you start? I mean, there's so many people saying you have to try keto, you have to do vegan, you have to go intermittent fasting, or try the Atkins diet. There's so much out there. And so I was like, okay, where to start? And I remember back then I was watching this documentary of Netflix called Water Health, which is also
Mm.
like they're also explaining a bit about the inflammation when you eat certain foods and stuff. So that really catch my attention. And after that documentary, I thought like, okay, I go vegan. And the first thing I thought like, okay, but what is actually healthy vegan? Because I could eat pasta and tomato sauce every day. I would be vegan, but it wouldn't be healthy, right? So I was researching and showing, okay, well, how can I get all the nutrients that I want? What about protein? What about all the amino acids? And so, yeah, I found out that, what kind of food I have to take. Nowadays, I simply say, to give an easy advice, eat the rainbow. Because like every kind of color, vegetables and fruits have like different kinds of nutrients. And if you cover up the colors, then you pretty much are guaranteed to have all the nutrients you need. And I found out that there's no worry about protein because as long as you cover your energy, as long as you eat enough, you will always have enough protein. And especially
Yeah.
something like broccoli, it's more protein than a steak, so there's nothing to worry about. And yeah, I think I tried that diet for like a month, and after 2 weeks already, I I noticed a major change. I had way less pain. I had actually no stiffness anymore. So I knew I was on the right track. And for the next 2 weeks, after like 4 weeks in total, it went better and better and better. But obviously, I wanted to really know, like, is this random? I mean, this is really because of the diet. So after 4 weeks, I made a test, and I wanted to eat some meat. I think I got a steak or something. And after I ate the steak, it took like 15 minutes and it triggered my autoimmune reaction. So that was for
Wow.
me like pretty much clear. Okay, I have to stay away from that. And but still I was like, maybe it was just a coincidence. So again, I went like totally vegan for like maybe 2 weeks until everything balanced again. And I tried it again. This time I had a burger or something. And again, like 15 to 30 minutes, my autoimmune disease triggered. So that was like, okay, it's guaranteed. This is the wrong food for me, for at least for me. And so, yeah, that's the way my story went on. Then I researched about keto, how it helps, what does in your body, and maybe you can implement that a bit, and fasting and everything. And and I'm still continue growing. I'm still learning. I'm still trying. I still I still try to find better ways. But the outstanding thing that's happened over all this work that I put in there is that my life and my health got better and better and better. Like by now, I'm at a point where haven't had any flare-ups or any pain from my disease for years.
Wow.
And thinking about back then, I had it pretty much daily. So, I mean, actually, I would go as far to say I freed myself from it. I mean, I still have this disease. I know if I go the wrong way, I would still trigger it, but I'm in control. I'm in charge. It's simply making the right choices every day.
Wow. Fantastic. Wow. That's impressive. Especially you see that I believe in the modern medicine and the way we treat ourselves, and it's fantastic. Yeah, everyone should use it. If you have a broken arm or need a surgery, don't go to a shaman to heal you.
Yes.
Just go to the doctor. But what you just said, like you went against what the doctor says, and you found ways, you change your mindset, and I believe that that's major when it comes about healing. And then another fantastic thing that you did is you reduce the inflammation through eliminating the things that are causing, that are triggering. So that's, I'm not a doctor, I have to tell everyone, but I experienced I had some health issues as well, and I had similar experiences that I needed to eliminate the things that were causing. For example, I had a rash on my body everywhere. I was like when I was eating sugar, and was all red, like unbelievably red, and it's so itchy and it's so hot. And there was a time when it came up here. Luckily, I never had them on my face, but I had them all over. If I took my shirt off, I was like, so it took me a few years to figure out what was causing it. Actually, I had it maybe for maybe 7, 8 years, and I never thought that sugar can be a trigger. So you just said about eliminating the things that trigger, and many people, what they do, they have a health issue, they go to the doctor, they get some pills, they made some changes, they take pills, they think that they will heal the issue, but they don't eliminate the things that caused the issue.
Yeah.
And that's the first most important thing, because you can take the best pills in the world if you don't work with the root, if you don't find the cause of the issue. Yeah, that's cool. And yeah, and about veganism, um, I'm vegan as well, and I believe, as you said, that being vegan is not enough. Just eating pesto, pesto with tomato sauce or chips.
Yes, right.
It's not enough. There is a lifestyle, and again, veganism is not for everyone. You can be very healthy and eating meat and so on. That's 100%. But I want to mention another thing that you said about protein. Yeah, I'm vegan for about 6 years or so, and I have no issues with protein. I'm alive. Yeah, it's like, how do you get your proteins? Oh, aren't you? I don't know. Don't you have enough power or something? No, I'm better at least 100 times than I was. And not just because I was eating meat, not at all. It's just I changed my lifestyle. But in terms of protein, you won't die. If you eat correctly, of course, you have to find the right amount of food and how to eat. But I don't need even to think as a vegan now, okay, if I make my food, I'm not like, okay, I make my food, I'm vegan, I need to get my protein. Okay, just wait a bit, maybe get 50 grams of protein from soy, 50 grams. Not at all. It becomes so natural that we even forgot that we have this. In the beginning, yeah, I needed a lot of thinking of how to balance my foods, but it becomes your second nature after some time. So yeah, also, so you're in control over your health now. That's major. It doesn't. Sometimes we cannot heal it like and eliminate, but we can control it.
Absolutely. And it's actually right what you say. I mean, it doesn't mean that everybody has to stop eating meat now. I mean, it depends also like where you live, what your traditions are, what your
Yeah,
favorites is. Um, the thing is that I mean, I continue trying like how does it work with meat, and even like I'm at a point now where I could eat meat without triggering my disease. It's just like by finding out what's really going on.
yeah,
I mean, we all are a little bit different, but we all have the same rules for our health. You know what I mean? Like, if you accumulate toxins and inflammation in your body, you will get disease. It's just how it is. So yeah, by simply eliminating what's bad and finding a balance in your life, that's the key point here. And what really helped me doing that is understanding alkalinity and acidic in your body. I don't know if you know, but like your blood needs to have a certain pH. Your body will always, no matter what you do, will always try to keep your blood at 7.36 pH, which is slightly alkaline. Just to explain, like alkalinity is from 1 to 14.
mhm,
7 is neutral. Everything below 7 is acidifying, and everything above that is alkaline. So just thinking about it, like when your blood needs to be slightly alkaline, then you should make sure that your diet or like your lifestyle contributes to that. And the major thing I found out with my lifestyle that before I got my autoimmune disease was totally acidifying. And so much, as you said, so much sugar, so much bad food, so much that triggers inflammation. I don't even know how much acid I put into my body.
Yeah.
And the key point is, and which helps me to find the balance, is to focus to have a little bit more alkalinity than acidic. Which means if you have, for example, you have a huge salad, a salad is super alkaline. And if you have with that salad, for example, a steak or whatever, that will balance out the acidic effect that you get from the meat. So nobody really has to give up their favorite foods or anything. It's just finding that balance. And for me,
Yeah.
what absolutely helps me and what's so easy, especially what you said at the beginning, it's hard to like understand, okay, what do I need to eat? What do I do here? It's really stressful and exhausting. What simply helped me is one simple rule, 80-20. I eat 80% alkaline living foods, 20% something else, something that just I have a craving for, just something that I want to have on that particular day. And
Yeah.
it's pretty much simple because let's just say you start your day and you have something sweet. Then that's my 20%. So that means for the rest of the day, I won't have anything like that. The rest of the day, I will stay alkaline. And let's just say in the middle of the day, I was like, oh man, I would like to have this ice cream or whatever. Then it's just like, okay, I'm not doing that today. I do it tomorrow. So I plan it for the next day. That's my 20%. And the rest is going to be alkaline again. And with that, I can constantly keep my balance with my health and even with that disease. And this is phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's a good, yeah, to balance the pH in our bodies as much as possible. And again, you don't have to become a vegan or something to get this. You can get it balancing meat with salad. But talking about this, I remember that my diet was very bad before I became vegan. I didn't know literally that I can have control over my health, mental health or physical health. I was so My body was so weak, and I was always a skinny guy, and that makes it even worse. So I remember that I used to throw out my veggies from my plate. So I used to eat, like, in terms of acidity, was very acid. My food was very, very, very bad. And there was a day when, yeah, I used to smoke loads of cigarettes, maybe up to 40 a day, just like this, drink 10 coffees, and
Wow.
they are very acidic. Now I know, back then I didn't know. And I got to a point that I vomited blood. And I'm not surprised now when I look back, because I used to eat only white bread with meat. That's it. I threw out whatever was green or was veg in my plate. And of course, that wasn't because of meat, yeah, not at all. Because you still can be a vegan and eat just chips every day. But I didn't know that I can have control over my health. So when I was very sick, vomiting blood, I was like, wow, this is not possible. I cannot do this anymore. What's the cause? And again, I had no idea that food can cause to be to have a health issue, or cigarettes, or coffee. I thought that any health issue comes out of nowhere. People are just waking up. I don't know what disease I have. Okay, there are some of them, let's say, because of genetics, but I believe in, as I studied in the past 7 years, I think that 80% of the diseases, they come from our habits, and especially from eating. And of course, some of them, they come from thinking, stress, but we can have control. So I vomited blood, and I remember that I went to see a doctor, and she told me, you just have some bugs, some I don't know, some food poisoning, something like that. She told me, and I said, like, wow. She had no idea what happens in my body, and she gave me some pills, and I remember that I took the pills and again I vomited, so I couldn't make the most of the pills. They couldn't help me because I was vomiting continuously. And I said, like, that's it. From today onwards, I promise that I will never, ever, ever be in a situation like this, and I will take control over my health. So that was my promise towards me. I will take control because I noticed that doctors, they know something, as I said, they are fantastic in some ways, but in some ways, where the doctors cannot help anymore, we have to help ourselves. We have to work with our mindset. And since that day, I can say that most of the time, actually, I treated myself. I never been in a situation to. I saw some doctors every now and then do some checkups and so on, but I never relied on pills or something like that because I try to prevent. I'm open if I need any any treatment or something. I'm very open. That's not a problem. But I did something that I couldn't before I started doing it. I couldn't. I never thought that there's something like that is possible to have control over my health, and we can do that. And you don't have to be a vegan, and you don't have to be on a keto or whatever. There are mix and just bring things that work for you together, and you can do it. Yeah. Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to ask you: what would you tell people who have like an autoimmune disease or even something else that you experience in your life in terms of mindset? So how could they balance a bit more? Yeah, they can use the traditional, the modern medicine, let's say, the modern peers and doctors and so on. But where should they focus in terms of mindset? How should they stay better in their mind? Because that's a big battle, I imagine.
That's a phenomenal question. And actually, I found from my experience over all those years that your mindset and your emotions has the biggest impact on your health, on your life at all. So having the right mindset and even learning how to take care of your emotions, um, that would be probably the biggest game changer. I think that's the most underestimated resource that we have, because even now, let's just say I live completely healthy, completely clean. I have nothing that triggers any inflammation or whatever, but I get in a very bad emotional state. Let's just say depression or like super stressed out. That alone could trigger the autoimmune disease, because it's like your cells just run riot at this moment. So this is super, super important. The mindset, I mean, there's a lot to talk about with this topic, but what I would say to people, to whoever, like if you have an autoimmune disease or whatever, there are possibilities. Like, don't give up and don't just throw the towel and let things come over you. You can take action. You can have control. You might won't get rid of it, but you can have a better life, and you deserve a better life. I mean, we all have this one chance here on this planet, and we have to take it, and we have to make the best out of it. And for most people, even like with people that I've worked already with, that had autoimmune diseases, most people are not even aware what's possible for your life. I mean, I wasn't aware as well. Like, I thought I would be stuck in my in my bed for the rest of my life and walk like a pirate with a wooden leg. But here I am. I'm traveling the world. I have an impact on other people's lives. I better other people's lives, and I take care of the environment as well. So I think the biggest mindset is you can have control. You can make the right decisions, and you can have a better life in any stage, no matter what your thing is. It's not even health. It's like everything. It can be your relationship, your finances, whatever. I mean, everything comes back to our emotions and the decisions that we make.
Yeah, emotions, that's big. Because yeah, if we don't control our emotions, we're going to be controlled by the circumstances. And especially from my own experience, when you don't feel well, it's hard to want to control yourself. You just want to go down with
Absolutely.
the issue, the mental issue, the physical issue, and even sometimes you feel angry or you can feel upset or depressed because why this happens to me, why this, and it's not easy to face any health issues. But as you said, there is we can control it. That's the magic. And again, it doesn't have to be to a level that it's all pink and it's all amazing, but we diminish the pain, the mental pain, the emotional pain, the physical pain, and that helps a lot. So how could people control more? How could they introduce some new habits? What can they do to control more their mindset and emotions in these times when they have some health issues?
Yeah, I mean, one thing, let's just say related to health, would be to feed your mind every day. Like simply, even if it's just 5 to 10 minutes, learn something about your body, about what your diet does to you, about whatever. Feeding your mind will automatically trigger something. Like your brain is always searching for something in your environment. Let's just say you buy a new car. All of a sudden, if you walk along, you will see that car everywhere. And was it there before? Yeah, of course. But you didn't focus on it. But if you start feeding your brain will automatically focus on the right things, and you will get stronger over time. It's a muscle that you have to build up. It's not like, okay, I decide I'm going vegan now, I cut off meat, and you will never even think about eating meat again. You will go along the aisle in the supermarket like, I would love to have that steak today. It's just how it is. And even if you give by and you have it, don't beat yourself up for it. The most important thing that I see with people is like they have this goal they want to reach, but if they do something that's against it, they beat themselves up. But let's be honest, what happens if you do that? You eat bad again. As you said, the worse you feel, if you have bad emotions, the more um, the more it's possible that you make the wrong choices. It comes back to like your state of being. If you're like super enthusiastic and balanced and you're on flow, you will never make a wrong decision. You will have like, I have to sell it today. I love to sell it. It's gonna be good for me. But if you feel bad, it's like, sell it now. I want the cake. The cake will make me feel better. And that's the thing. Like the way why it happens is like if you eat the cake is full of sugar and fat and stuff. So it triggers certain hormones that make you feel better for this moment. But as soon as you finish eating the cake, it's gone. So it's not sustainable. So we have to learn to be emotional fit, to keep on a strong mindset that helps us just simply continue to grow. And what helped me the most is to build habits that automatically kept me going. I mean, it's really hard to do that, especially at the beginning, but you can kind of master it. Like I mean, over time, like as I said before, I was researching, I was testing a lot with food. So I had to go like back and forth, seeing what's working, sorting out and stuff. So I constantly changed my habit. And I wasn't even like aware of that. I didn't think about terms of habits at this point. But when I later learned about this stuff, I actually realized that I was constantly changing it. And now if I want to create a new habit for myself, it's so easy. I just simply plan it, like let's just say at a certain time. What's really good, for example, is a morning routine. So I plan, for example, in the morning, I hydrate my body. Yeah, super important. Hydration is one of the key factors to keep your body healthy and your blood really nice and moving. I do maybe some exercise, maybe some meditations, whatever it is. I plan that ahead. I start doing it, and I simply keep going. At some point, you don't even question it anymore. You get up and you do it, and you feel great after that. And even let's just say you have a stressful day. You get up. I'm late today. I have to go to work, and you skip it. It doesn't matter. You can always do it the next day. You can do it after work. So don't beat yourself up, and forgive yourself for the things that you do or the things that you did in the past. Some people, some of my clients, they were like, I shouldn't have done that. I was so bad to myself. And it's like, again, beating yourself up. But by learning to forgiving yourself, by understanding that whatever you did in whatever moment in time, at this moment, it was the best possible decision you could do. With that knowledge, with that mindset, with that emotion you had at this moment in time, you did the best you could do. What you can do now is striving to get better and better your life, better habits, better mindset. So I think, yeah, the most important thing is feed your mind. Learn about your health, learn about something, learn about how to motivate yourself. Or best thing, I mean, it's all general topic. Best thing, if you really want to go for something, get a coach, get someone who helps you, who understands all these things and can guide you straight away on your way. Otherwise, you maybe spend years, like I did, to find your way, to find your balance. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot you can do.
Yeah, habits, of course, 100%, because if our habits are not supporting a healthy lifestyle, we go down. There are two options. One, you go up or you go down. It's as
Yeah,
simple as that. And yeah, feed your mind. Everything starts from the mind. And this is one thing that people are not aware, because they don't, they think that just life is just material or something, just something that you can touch. But you have to remember that everything we see around us one day was in someone's mind. Even these things, even these books or plants or pots, it was an idea. One day was an idea. So there is the power of ourselves. We have to control our mind. We have to feed our minds with something that will support a healthy lifestyle, something that, yeah, keeps us better, stronger, wiser, improves us. Especially as humans, we are constantly changing every second. Now we are changing. We are not aware of this, but if you look at the microscopic level or quantum physics, there's just particles of energies exchanging energies and changing continuously. So we have to change in our lives as much as possible. Sometimes we reach a level that we're a bit flat, but again, you have to go upwards. And yeah, everything starts from feeding our minds. Uh, and there's, yeah, with books, with videos, there's so much information today. I know sometimes can be overwhelming, but find something that works for you. So then you can stay on a path that's, yeah, and you get your own results. Yeah, habits, back to habits and exercising, as you said, that's magical. That's feeding the body with some energy. Reading would feed the mind with some good thoughts, with another type of energy. Yeah, and yeah, find a coach. That can be a very powerful thing, because you don't
yeah,
have to spend, I don't know, years and years. Yeah, coaches, we can have a lot to keep us on a path. I know I had coach. I still have mentors and coaches, and it's working. Accountability plus, it's telling you, like, some we think that we know everything sometimes, or sometimes we get blocked and we say, like, oh my god, so what can I do now? Then it's the best time to have a mentor, so that someone already did what you want to do, and have a chat with them, and that makes it easier.
yeah.
Yeah. Another thing, if you want to share a bit about your life coaching business, what's happening there? You have any things you want to share, or maybe you have any programs?
Yeah, like the whole thing, the whole health topic, as I said before, is huge. And I mean, what we talked about at the moment is just like a slightly bit of all the things you could do to improve your life. So I'm currently working on a project to put like all the informations together, not just the diet, but also the breathing, because so many people have shallow breathing, which means they have a lack of oxygen. And oxygen is the number one source of energy in our bodies. And the richest blood flow is in our lower lungs. But if you breathe shallow, it will never reach that point. So your body doesn't get the oxygen you need. That can be one of the reasons why you feel tired all the time. And by the lifestyle we have, just sitting on computers and having our phones in our hand, we constantly put some pressure to the front, and we have shallow breathing. So this is one thing. Breathing techniques can help a lot with that. Then your structure, your posture, super important, especially for me with my autoimmune disease, because I had a very bad posture. And so let's just say, you kind of feel like you're straight, but you're not. So like if you just have a slight angle, that means the whole day there's more pressure on a certain part of your body, which then creates some problems. It's not just an autoimmune disease, it can be anything. Um, and things like, yeah, we talked about inflammations, getting rid of your addictions. If you're, like you said, you were smoking a lot and you had a lot of coffee, getting rid of that can be super, super hard. So that would be one thing, to get some help to at least reduce your addictions. What else? Yeah, taking care of your blood, of your cells, learning about alkalinity and acid. Your mindset, your emotions, there's so much to consider. So what I'm planning to do is work on a project to put everything together and make it available for everyone, so that nobody has to spend all those years in researching, testing, and seeing what works out. So everything is already together, and you simply have to extract the information and you can use it straight away, which means that you can better your life right now, and you can have like more clarity, you can have more energy and enjoy time with your loved ones.
Yeah, cool, cool. So, yeah, are you doing one-to-one coaching as well?
Yes, that's one of the major things I do at the moment. So it's not just about health. I have some clients who got autoimmune diseases, and I help them with that. Um, there's so much to consider, because every autoimmune disease is specific. Mine is called ankylosing spondylitis, which attacks my hips and the spine. But there are so many other things that can happen. Everyone is different, so it's important to have a specific look into everyone's situation if you got an autoimmune disease. If you just want to increase your general health, that's a bit easier to do. But I also do a lot for like emotional things, taking care of the environment. I help people to have brighter vision for their lives. I mean, that's what happened for me back then. I couldn't see any future at all, and then being here now, it's like, wow, like what's possible? Showing people what's possible. That's actually really nice beauty as a life coach, when you see people lighting up. They're seeing, I get back control, and they get their fire again. This is the greatest thing to see.
Yeah,
And it's as you said at the beginning, it's so fulfilling for yourself. And I think together, sharing everything we have, and growing together, that's what we are made for. That's why we are where we are now. Like, somebody invented something, somebody had an idea, no matter if it's from a book or something else, and somebody else took it further and further. That's why our technology is growing. That's why our knowledge is growing. That's why we can travel out in space. um, this is what we are made for, and I love to do that. I love to work with people, to grow together with people, and create a better future for all of us.
yeah, cool. Yeah, 100% agree with you. As humans, we are made to be connected, because that's the only way. If we are connected, we can carry on with this mission of being alive, and whatever happens on the planet. Yeah, we have to connect emotionally, mentally, physically, and so on. Nature built us. If you see in nature, there is everything is connected. Many people would say, no, there is space. There is no empty space. Yeah, there is, nature connects everything. We are connected. We Many times our egos makes us feel that we're separated from the world or from the other people, but that's not true. We're always connected. We cannot be part of nothing. We're always part of something. And yeah, so coaching, that's one thing that we do. You can connect to people and help them to become even better, to get to the next level, so they can influence other people, they can connect even better with the other people, and the other people with the other people, and so on. It's a, it's a system that nature gave us, and we have to flow with it.
Yeah.
And pain comes a lot from resisting to connect to ourselves and resisting to connect to the world and to the other people. Yeah, cool. Do you have any favorite quotes, or maybe one quote that you really like?
Favorite what? Sorry.
A favorite quote?
Quote. Oh, there's so many. Um, really hard to say. I'm not sure which one that would be the favorite. I have like several ones, but I mean, simply, what could it be? The quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. I mean, that's the
Cool.
thing. Like as coaches, we form relationships. We help others to better their relationships. And so,
Yeah,
like it's like you said, it's kind of a network. It's like a forest where all the trees and everything is connected through the roots. This is how we connect as human beings. And I think this is the major thing.
yeah, cool. What's, let's say, what advice would you give to someone who is going now through some mindset challenges, like they feel maybe confused or maybe they feel down, especially with this coronavirus and stuff? What would
Yeah.
you tell people?
Yeah. First of, take action. Don't surrender to your feeling. Reach out to someone. That's always the best thing you can do. Reach out to family and friends. Contact whoever you can. Maybe get a mentor, get a coach. Um, Connect online. I mean, that's the beauty of our technology. I mean, just right now we are connected, and so many people are watching us.
Yeah,
Yeah, simply reach out, get help. Simply connect, have fun with others. I think that this is the beauty. I mean, so often we just scroll through our news feeds on Facebook or whatever, but we don't really connect. And simply as reach out.
yeah, yeah. Cool. Yeah, it's good to connect. As humans, we need to connect. Everything is connected, so we need to follow that
Yes.
law of nature. Yeah, fantastic, fantastic. Do you have any favorite books? I love books. I read tons of books, and but I'm still curious. And do you have any books you love, and maybe you would recommend to people, or just to share with us?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I used to not really hate books. Like when I was
Mm,
younger, I really underestimated books. And when I came to them, man, I started to read like, I don't know. I read so many books because they are a life changer. There's so much knowledge in there which is compressed to one little thing. And it's amazing. And yeah, talking about habits and how people could improve on that, I would recommend High Performance Habits from Brandon Bouchard. That's one thing that really helped me to get clarity, to understand how impactful that is, and to find a way to implement it into our lives. I think this can be a big game changer for many people.
yeah, yeah. Books are amazing, and they are, some of them, they're life changing. I remember when I discovered the book Think and Grow Rich. Ha! Wow, how my life turned around, and it's never been the same again, ever, ever. And from that point, I realized that, as we spoke in the beginning, that I can have control over my habits, over my life, over my mind, over what happens around me. Before discovering the book Think and Grow Rich, I never thought that. I thought that I'm a victim of the nature of the universe and just here with no purpose, with just like a physical body that will die. But after that, I discovered that there is much more than just being a physical body with no purpose. And yeah, books are amazing. and I highly recommend to everyone to read. I know everyone says like, "Oh, I don't have time to read. I don't have time." I have another theory. Reading will create you more time. And many people will say like, "Okay, how?" Because if I read, if I get a habit of reading, I will add half an hour more to my busy time. It's not because of reading. You can get some smart ideas, especially if you read the right books, and you start work smarter and put systems or technologies to work for you instead of you being there every time, and then you create time. So this is how reading can create your time if you don't have time. Yeah.
And it's a great way to feed your mind.
Yeah, of course, 100%. Yeah, I have a saying. I actually this is one of my favorite habits or rituals, but it's not easy to stick to it. So don't feed your no, how I say like don't feed your mind, don't feed your body until you feed your no, don't feed your mind until you feed your soul. Don't feed your body until you feed your mind, and so on. Well, what I mean by this, so when you wake up in the morning, you don't feed first time your body, yeah, you feed your soul, you meditate, and you don't feed your mind. Actually, you don't feed your body again because you feed your mind. You read something, and after that, you feed your body with some exercise, and later on, you just feed it with food because sometimes we start with food and we forgot any other thing. But it's important to feed our soul with some meditation, our mind with some reading, our body with some energy from yoga or gym or swimming or running, whatever you like, and just after to feed it with some food. Yeah, so there are many other types of food before the physical food, and I didn't know this. Many years ago, I didn't know that food. There is a food for soul. There is a food for mind. There is an energetical food for the body, and after we have the material food. So yeah, feed your
And
mind, soul, and body. Yeah,
and this could be a great morning routine. Yeah, getting up, having a couple of minutes meditation or whatever,
yeah,
feeding your mind with something, exercise, and it doesn't have to be a long time. It can be like you can start with 5 minutes meditation or less, 3 minutes. Um, I'm actually working on another project for my YouTube channel called Mindful Moments to help people simply like in 1 to 3 minutes to really give them, feed their soul, reconnect, relax, or trigger some certain emotions. Because, yes, a long term meditation can have huge benefits. But let's be honest, nobody really has the time every day to sit down for 20 minutes or longer. So I think this is a great way to handle that. And I already tested that with some clients and it's a game changer. Like people coming from stressed out to relaxed and balanced in 2 minutes. This is beautiful, and this is once again this is an underestimated power. It's not something we can physically touch, not something that we can really feel, but we experience it in here, and the experience can be extraordinary and can give you way more power than any physical thing out there.
yeah, yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's right. Awesome. So, um, just a few more words before we close.
Yep.
What would you tell people, especially for in these times with coronavirus and yeah, lockdowns? What would you tell people?
Yeah, I think especially now is reach out as much as you can to others. I mean, many are bored, many have a lot of anxiety and fear of what's to come. But the thing is, no matter what's happening in your life, you don't have to go through it alone. You will never be really alone. It's easy to connect with someone. And even if it's just a basic connection, everything is going to help you. And if you feel lonely right now, I would recommend reaching out with the intention to help others. Because if you help others, it's not just fulfilling your own soul, but you also form a way deeper connection and you will forget about your own problems in no time. So yeah, I think the major thing is simply connect to as many people you can. Try to make new friendships, whatever. I mean, there's so many people in groups really active now. Zoom calls becoming more and more a thing. So maybe try something new. Try not just chatting with someone. Try to jump on a call. For example, like for me, having this interview with you is amazing. It's really nice, engaging. I love to talk with you, and yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So before we leave, I want to say thank you, Heiko, for being here. I appreciate your time. Thank you for your sharing your story, your knowledge. It was very inspiring. It's amazing what you realize you achieved in terms of overcoming and controlling your uh, health issue. That's that's amazing, and I hope you can help as many people as possible, at least with the mindset. Yeah, the doctors can take care of whatever they can take care, but you can help it there. You can help them with the mindset to stay in control over their emotions. So yeah, yeah, thank you again. Thank you, Heiko. And before we leave, just a few more words. And if you want to share where people can find you on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook.
Yeah. So first off, thank you for having me. It was a really pleasure to be with you and also to learn from you. It's great, and I hope people get a lot out of this. And yeah, simply like if somebody wants to connect with me, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Or simply send me an email. I mean, all the links, everything is in my Facebook profile. So just check it out, and yeah, reach out.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching. And have a fantastic day wherever you are in this world. Thank you. And
Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
bye.
Cosmin. Bye
Bye.
bye.